Hi guys, theDrTomi here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a day in the life of a doctor in Lagos, Nigeria. And I'm bringing you guys along with me. Come on guys, let's go, let's go, let's go. So basically, it's just a typical day. I hope I don't bore you guys. I have an Irish version of a day in the life of a doctor. So I just thought to do the Lagos version. As some of you are aware, I'm presently doing my fellowship in Lagos University Teaching Hospital in public health. So I'm alone in Lagos, Nigeria at the moment without my family. I miss them so much. But these things have to be done. So that's me starting off my day. This is a typical work day. Unfortunately, I won't be able to bring you guys into the hospital, but I will just, voice over what my day is like. My day right now, to be honest, is a bit boring. It's a bit boring. A lot of people don't know that I'm back in Lagos. A lot of my friends and all of that. And I just kind of left it that way because I really didn't want to be distracted from the program. It's very intensive and it needs 100% laser focus. And I didn't want to start like, hey, I'm around, let's hang out, let's do that, let's do this, I'm just like, okay. I'm too old for what I'm doing right now. Well, not like I'm too old, but I mean this should have been long gone, ages ago. So I'm just like, okay, zoom in, girl. You're not here to play. Zoom in so that you can move on to other things, plus my family that I left behind. I miss them so much every day. So let me stop going all over the place. So this is just my typical morning. Since I came to Nigeria, I signed up in the gym. So I did a quarterly plan, and you can use the gym for as long as you want. If you want to spend the whole day in the gym, or if you use it just once a month, that's up to you. But anyway, the Nigerian girl in me keeps going back to the gym like, I have to use my money. I have to finish my money. But yeah, no. I give my body like a day interval anyway to rest. Initially, I used to go every day, but I was in so much pain. I just told myself, okay, to be able to go the long haul, I think I need to slow down and just maybe give myself a day break in between. Yeah, so basically, I start my day dressed up to go to the gym. And I brush my teeth. Yeah, I brush my teeth and I pack up. So I leave with 3 bags in the morning. I have my gym bag, I have my laptop bag, and I have my handbag. Usually I leave all 3 in the car the whole day. So I'm very privileged that at the moment I have a driver that gets to take me everywhere. So it makes things a bit easier for me. It makes life a bit easier for me. I personally don't like driving. So it's just, like I know how to drive. I mean, I've been driving since I was 16. But do I like to drive? No. So it's just nice that to have someone that can take me around, and I get to I can go on my laptop, I can continue work, I can catch up on presentations, I can do all of that while still on the move. So this is me just basically just starting my day, packing up and just getting ready to head out and start my day. So a little side note. So my driver has been with us for years. So he's a trusted person. I would say probably even 15 years or maybe nearly. So he's been with the family, and he's just used to, my parents, drove us, knows my kids, my kids know him and all of that, took my kids to school and all of that. So he's been with us for so long. So yeah, that's all my 3 bags packed up. And this is me just checking out myself. You look so good, girl. Yes, and I turned the lights. I turned off the light. I mean, I don't want to say it's a bad habit or a good habit, but I'm just so used to turning off the light from Ireland. And then I realized that how would you see, and I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. I can see. And so I turned it off again. So, but it's just, like the way over in Ireland, you're trying to save your electricity. So at every opportunity, we turn off the lights, and it's just a habit, and I do that. I mean, me turning it off now on camera was very unconscious, and that was why I turned it right back on immediately, like when I realized, but you're recording, and so this is me just heading off. I'm just bringing you guys along. When I say day in the life, it's just practically you guys view my day from like my lens or from my eyes. So, and yeah, so this is me going to get the gates. I'm going to let the driver in so we can start going. He already called me, and that was why I turned off the light and started coming downstairs. So I was all set and ready, and then he just called me that, oh, I'm at the gates, so he doesn't stay over, so he goes and comes back every morning. So once he called me that he was at the gates, I just started to pack up, and that was when I was packing up earlier, and I came to meet him at the gate, let him in, gave him the car keys, and that's my gym bag, my nice green gym bag. A lot of people have approached me in the gym that they love my gym bag. Where did I buy it from and all of that? But I didn't buy it in Nigeria. But I know I've had a few people look in the label and, just see if they can order it online and all of that. But yeah, so that's my gym bag, that's my laptop bag, and that's my handbag. I think the driver was just having a chilled day in the car the day before. That's why it's all the way to the back. So I get in the car. This is very early in the morning, by the way. Like, I hit the gym like 6 a.m., so it's quite early in the morning. So the driver does like all his checks. And this is me just hyping up myself, like, yo, guys, come along with me. Let's get this done. Let me bring you guys along and all of that, feeling cool with myself. But yeah, so I was doing all this while the driver was just checking the bonnet, checking his oil, checking everything, just making sure that the car was, all good and fine. And we set out to start our day. And yeah, so we got going. This is just me still bringing you guys along. It's a long video, but I've tried to make it as short as possible. And I've also tried to be a bit discreet as well, so that I'm not really giving off my surroundings too much and all of that, So, yeah, so my day really, at the moment is, because I'm in the accident and emergency rotation. So the way my fellowship works is that you go through different rotations and you go through different departments. The bulk of it, of course, being public health rotations, because it's a public health fellowship. So I'm moving around, and so at the moment when this day in the live video was done, I'm in the accident and emergency. So I'm pretty much either on the morning or afternoon or night shift. There are 3 shifts in the accident and emergency, but this is really the first time that it's been like that. So previous rotations that I've done prior to this, it's just been like 8 to 5, but in the accident and emergency, it's like 8 to 2, 2 to 8, or 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. And as a time of this video, I've actually done all 3 shifts. I've had an experience of all 3 shifts, which was pretty cool, by the way. So in the morning, I'm in the car. I get to check my mails. Remember, I've woken up very early, and pretty much all I've done at this point is I've just said a prayer and brushed my teeth, So as we go to the gym, I'm on my laptop, and I'm just trying to check my mail, reply to emails, I'm trying to, like, if I have a presentation, say later in the day, usually we would have a presentation once a week, and then we'll have like a journal critique once a week. And then if you're in like an outside department as well, you would also present in that department. So say for example, aside your my primary unit is the public health unit, community health unit. So we'll have a presentation once a week and our journal critique. But the secondary posting that you go to as well, they also have their presentations, and you also present in that unit as well. So a couple of, presentations that you have to do. And also you have your reports, like at the end of each posting that you do, you have to, like, submit your reports before you can go on to the next posting. So there's a lot of computer, laptop-y stuff to do. So these are the things I just get done, like, or check on as I'm in the car. It just gives me that extra time. I'm very happy, and I feel privileged to at least have that opportunity of just being able to do that while on the move, because my schedule is very back to back. So aside being able to check on things while at home, it's also nice to have that extra time in the traffic, on the road, and all of that to get things done. So that's exactly what I'm doing here. I think it's about a 10 minutes drive to the gym from the house. So basically, I'm just checking my emails, working on any presentations I have to wrap up on, or any reports, I have to do. Before the time change, I would also speak to my family, like, on my way to the gym, or sometimes as soon as I arrive at the gym, I would also call them, just use that time to say hello to everybody, speak to them and all of that. But the time has changed in Ireland, and they've moved back an hour. So it's super early, like, like I don't want to wake the kids up at like 5 a.m., or 6 a.m. So now the time I speak to them has actually moved to when I'm at work, but prior to this, it would have been like on my way, like on my way to the gym, or while I'm at the gym, or, depending, or once I leave the gym. That's if I'm speaking to them very late, just before they go catch the bus, then that will be when I'm leaving the gym and heading into work, But all of that has changed now, so I can't call them that early. So I'm just on my laptop, getting some work done. Aside getting work done, I also use it as an opportunity to reflect and think about my numerous business ideas. So I think I'm one of the very few doctors I know that is also business minded. I have so many ideas in mind, and I think it's just the time to execute it from my very busy schedule that is, the stumbling block, basically. And also the fact that the locations for these business ideas of mine. So my family is kind of, I don't want to say divided, in the sense that my husband doesn't want to hear anything about Nigeria, or living in Nigeria and all of that, like, and I am like Nigerian to the core, even though a good part of my growing up wasn't even in Nigeria. I grew up in Ireland. I went from Ireland to med school in Poland and all of that. But I guess because I left Nigeria quite late. I think I was like 14 or so, or 15 when I, relocated from Nigeria with my family. So I think that Nigeria has already been really ingrained into me. I mean, unlike my siblings, like, my sister was, I think, 8. My other sister wasn't even born yet at all. She was born abroad. I think my brother was 10 or 9. So like they don't even talk about, anything Nigeria. So but I think I was grown enough to really have, I don't know if that's what it is really, because I mean you would see 14-year-old, 15-year-old that would leave the country and just never want to hear anything Nigeria, but I think I have that Nigeria, spirit and whatever really ingrained in me. And I would really love to live in Nigeria, if not for all the things I'm even seeing on my recent, trip back. I'm like, ooh, okay. I thought I loved Nigeria. But anyway, that's the discussion for another day. Let me not digress too much of my point of my businesses. So yeah. I know why I came on to this point. So I just, I spent this time as well just thinking about it. Like, I have all these business ideas. Should I establish in Ireland? Should I establish them in Nigeria? I've recently gotten into like skincare, dermatology. I've paid for courses with the Royal College of Physicians. I've invested so much in it, to get like a diploma in dermatology. I've spent so much money, getting like aesthetics training and all of that. Like, all of that shouldn't go to waste. I feel like I need to open like a skin clinic, just I've come to love it. I've been able to reverse my skin aging and a lot of, so many things I've learned. And it would be nice to be able to share it with, and like my niche really is like skin of color, So really, I would love to set up like, my skin clinic in Nigeria. But then I have my husband who doesn't want to hear anything Nigeria. So I'm just on the fence. I'm just like, okay, I need to know where would be in the long run, and all of that. But so, like I said, I spend my time in the morning just thinking about all these things, and, I've also recently just fallen in love with cooking. I never used to like cook. Not like, not like, I think my cooking is like my driving, right? I know how to cook. I cook very well. But the way you have some people and their cooking is like breathing for them. Like they just putting everything together and and they can do it every single day, hours for the rest of their life. It wasn't like that for me. Like, I preferred to like even be at work all day. I preferred, to be in the hospital all day working than to be at home, cooking and all of that. But about like a year ago, something switched in me. I really don't know what it is or why that was, or, but I had this switch where I was just tired of working. Like, I was, I don't know what it was. And I think I will still keep thinking about it, because if I figure out whatever it was, I'm going to come back and share it with you guys. Or if anybody has an idea, please tell me in the comment section. Whatever you think, that what it was. I don't want to call it a midlife crisis. But really, I don't know. Something just switched in me where I was just tired of working. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a hard worker. And I've never had a day's break since I graduated med school. I had worked back to back to back. Like, okay, fine, you go on a leave, you take your leave, your 4 weeks and all of that. But since I finished med school, I have never had a career break. I have been working back to back. So sometimes last year, something just snapped in me and I was like, no, I don't know what it was. But anyway, I found my love for cooking. I found my love for cooking, and I even, took time off work. Some people thought I was crazy, my husband especially thought I was very crazy. Like, I took a whole 1 month, like my whole leave, I took it at once, and I went to like a catering school, like African meals, and I learned like almost 200 different African meals, recipes and all of that, And I learned it properly, formally, got a certificate and all of that. Took a break from medicine. I can't really call it a break anyway, because it was my leave I used. But yeah, learned how to cook, and it was starting to become like, a happy place for me. So I'm also considering like, okay, should I have a restaurant? That's what I say. That's what I mean when I say like, I think about all my business ideas, and I recently also started to think, okay, maybe I can have an like a healthy twist to a restaurant, so, but I need to like do my market surveys. I need to know like, would this sell and all of that, like, because healthy food is expensive. So if I have like my jollof rice now, right, and then I have like my jollof rice, brown rice jollof rice, it's definitely, my brown rice jollof rice is definitely more expensive than jollof rice. And I'm wondering, okay, do people want that? You guys tell me in the comment section what you think. Do people want those healthy options, or they just want a cheap version? Like, I just want to eat and be filled up, So, like, I spend my mornings thinking about all of this as well. Like, okay, perhaps I do like a healthy version, of the same things I've learned, but just healthy version, minimal oil, maybe egusi, something like that, oil free, something okra, like that healthy version, healthy takes on all I've learned. Like, of course, I would adapt those recipes. I mean, I got back from my training and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced, and I remember when I was going for that training. Okay, I don't know if I should share this with you guys or not, but I didn't declare to my husband that I was going for that training because I wanted to go so bad, and he thought I was crazy and he didn't want me to go. And it was like, it's better to even use your leave to like locum and even make some more money, and you can use it for whatever you want and all of that. You don't even need to tell me about the money you're using. But I just think it's crazy you going to cooking school and all of that. And I really wanted to also, that's why I told him, okay, I'm going to locum, and I went to cooking school. And as soon as I came back, he said, you don't even need to tell me that you've gone to the cooking school. I can see it because you have not stopped cooking since you came back, But yeah, I hope he has forgiven me for that. Anyway, I don't do that often. And I think that was probably one of the first times I've done something like that, in our entire relationship. But yeah, that was how much I really wanted to learn to cook. And I've gotten to the gym. I was just gisting away, guys. Just gisting with my tribe, guys. I was just gisting with you guys. But yeah, so those are the two business options that I just have in mind, and I'm just considering like an aesthetic skin clinic, or or maybe aunt who says, oh, it could be both. Okay, so this is me just greeting my gym. That's the manager for that shift. And this is me just saying hello to them, and this is me scanning in. You have to scan into the gym from the app. And that's my personal trainer, Loretta. Shout out, Loretta. So I don't know if I mentioned before in this video or any of the video. Anyway, when I signed up to the gym, I also paid for a personal trainer because I've not really been a gym person, to be honest. I mean, I tried to go on runs in Ireland, but it wasn't of my own free will. I was pretty much forced by my husband to go on those runs. I don't think we both started out as like healthy conscious people, or like, oh, healthy. But I don't know, there was this, should I say, break in our relationship? Should I call it break in our relationship? Those periods where everybody would just go to their own lane, everybody just be on their own, and then you kind of come back again and maybe better and all of that. There was one of that. I think he even left the house. He went to his mom's place. But anyway, I think that was that period for him where he picked up. I think maybe it was like me, where I had a break, even though I'm yet to figure out what it was, where I picked up cooking and I loved cooking, but it just suddenly picked up running, exercise, and all of that. In fact, the point, I was thinking to myself that I hope this man was not cheating on me with an athletically fit person. I don't know if I spoke that English correctly, because where do you suddenly pick up new attributes and all of that from. But then I realized that, okay, I've done the same thing as well, and it wasn't because I was cheating. I think we need to realize that in relationship, we would the two parties would both evolve. I think it's important for couples to realize that, and it doesn't really mean that anything is happening. It doesn't mean that. And I remember, like, when I was pregnant of my last son, he had this random friend that he found from nowhere. God forgive me. But yeah, he made this friend, and she was a runner, and she would, every time she was jogging past the house, she would branch, and it's like, where did this friend fall from now? When your husband just suddenly finds friend on the road, and all of that, no disrespect meant anyway. So in my head, and it was after this that he just suddenly started running, and so I'm like, Abi has been running with the girl. Abi has been, all these funny women insecurities. But anyway, I've, like, subsequently, I had my own episodes where I picked up things, and it wasn't because I picked it up from anybody. It wasn't because I was cheating or anything. I think it was just me just evolving again and evolving. And so it just made me realize that, I learned a very important lesson anyway at that point in time, that they don't teach you these things. They don't tell you these things ahead of time, or but going into a relationship, you need to realize that you guys will probably rub off on each other, and also evolve as you go along. Like, I was an extrovert, my husband proper introvert, but I think his introvert has rubbed off on me a bit, where, like, I'm okay by myself for days. I don't know if my own extrovert rubbed off on him. That man is a very difficult man to rub off on anything on. But, someone is just set in his ways and all of that. But yeah, I probably have rubbed off my extrovert, on him as well. So, I mean, like, I don't want to ramble on and on and on and go off point, but it just, I just came to the realization that, in marriage, you guys be ready to evolve and still understand each other. It's just a matter of making that decision every day that, okay, it's still this person, and I'll just still continue to love this person every day, no matter what they become. Hopefully they don't become a murderer and all of that, but it's just a choice, every day. So how did I get here, guys? You probably have noticed I love to talk at this point. But yeah, so this is just my typical morning. My instructor was helping me to take these videos, and also she was telling me the routines and all of that, what to do and all of that. So that's really my, like, I do that for, say, maybe an hour in the morning, and then I head off to work. No, before I head off to work, I have my gym bag. I think we'll still get there in the video as well, where I just go shower and change to either my scrubs or my normal wear, depending on what day it is, and I head off to work. Signing up at the gym has been one of those extremely beneficial, rewarding experience for me. It's definitely came about from one of those moments I talked about earlier, where I self-evolved, just me just finding myself again, not knowing that I even loved being in the gym, or I would enjoy, see me doing my squats. This squats. We'll talk about it another day. I didn't know that I would get it. Which I think it just brings me on to actually my next point. I have achieved so much in my short time in the gym. Look at me doing squats. I've achieved so much, and this is me now heading off. I'm done for the day. I'm going to show you guys the shower area and all of that, But yeah, so me signing up to this gym, it's just made me realize, that there's nothing in this world that I can't achieve, because my person on day one is so different from my person today. Like 10 minutes into the dance routine, like for the classes and all of that, that's the shower. So warm, nice, and neat. Okay, back to my point. So yeah, so I just shower and I get dressed. Yeah, I get dressed for the day. This is me just checking myself out. Tell me, guys, what do you think? Tell me in the comment section. What do you think about my scrubs or like my work look? Yeah, that's it, girl. Tell me what you guys think. So yeah, this is me. So what I usually would do at the gym is to save time. I just shower and cream my body, get dressed, and then I do my skincare routine in the car on the way to work, because of course my hands are free and all of that. So that would just save me some extra time. I could spend more time actually in the gym than doing my skincare routine and all of that. My skincare routine is very basic. I think it's going to be another video for another day. Like, we'll discuss my skincare routine another day so that I don't cram too many things in one video and try to talk about so many things in one video. It's very simple skincare routine. Very effective. I don't look my age. I don't need anyone to. No one has ever guessed my age right. No one. Like, no one. Like they cut it off by years. And if anyone gets my age right, I've in the comment section, guys, let me know. It's either your family or you've had a sneak peek somewhere. Nobody, and I mean nobody, ever gets it right. But it's very simple, basic. You don't need to break the bank. And it took me, like, of course, trainings, so many trainings, like I said, I paid for to learn these things, but it's very simple and very basic. And I'm going to have like a completely different, I might even use the same video, but just a completely different discussion, because I think it deserves a video of its own. Just my skincare routine, breaking it down to you guys and explaining things to you guys. Very simple and basic, routine. Like, of course, your number one, I'm big on sunscreen, water, hydration, all of that. This is part of your skincare routine. But anyway, like I said, that's discussion for another day. So what was I talking about initially? So yeah, just this phase of just me signing up to the gym. It's another phase of evolving for me, and it's been so beneficial to me. Like, when you're done, like, I don't know if everybody else has the same experience, gym experience. Maybe you guys can also let me know in the comment section. But you feel on top of the world. Like, you feel like, yes, there is nothing I cannot achieve right now. Like, your mind is completely clear. Like, like, even all those like ideas, like, they just start, the idea juices, if there's any word like that, they just start flowing in. Your head is clear. You're able to, like, you can just focus. You can note down things. You can set your goals. You can, it just makes me feel like there's nothing, like I was saying earlier, in this world that I cannot overcome. When I look at myself on day one and now, big difference. 20 minutes into the exercise routine, I was getting tired. I would even sit down. I would, of course, I've not really, like I said, except when I was being forced and all of that. It didn't come from my mind, to go on runs and all of that. But this is like from my mind. I took my 2 legs there myself, signed up, and all of that. So I'm learning. I am learning. Like, this gym experience is actually teaching me about life as well. It's also making me remember that, girl, look, there's nothing that you have asked God for that He hasn't given you. There's absolutely nothing. Like, you know, when you just feel like there's nothing, that just dream it, no matter how huge it is, you would conquer it. You know, I remember one of the spin classes that I did. I was so slow. I couldn't coordinate my head and my leg and my upper body and my hand. You know, when your lower body is doing something else and your upper body is doing something else, and you have to coordinate, you know. And then my last spin classes, look at me, guys. Oh God, I wish I had a clip of that spin class, but because it wasn't my personal one-on-one session, I don't have a clip of it, because of course there's no one to record it for me. My one-on-one session, my personal trainer can record that for me. But I would see if I have another spin, because it's every week, to see if someone can just take, like, look at me going with the flow, and like I was coordinating my upper body, different moves to my lower body, and I was like, look, it's just a matter of time. There is absolutely nothing anyone in this world sets their mind to achieve that they cannot achieve it. Give yourself time, guys. Be patient with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Remember, it is not how fast, it is how well. Oh, all my mates have achieved this. No. It is how well. It is how well. Do you understand? I have people that were not yet in med school. They were probably still in primary school, going into secondary school when I became a doctor, and they're already consultants. And I'm just in the process of my fellowship, you know? So it's not, it's not how fast, or, it's just have that goal, have that dream, set your mind to it, and you would achieve it. You would absolutely achieve it. I remember when I used to, this gym experience was what made me remember when I was little. I was in the children's choir, because I'm a pastor's kid, and I was in the HQ, where different parishes come together, and then you now form like the HQ children choir. I remember I was in the same choir with Benita. Then I remember vividly Benita Okoje. And I literally used to pray to God to give me a nice voice. I wanted to sing like her, because, all the practice we'll go to. So we were from different redeemed parishes, and we would meet up, like in a parish for our rehearsals and all of that. And we would sing in camp, present in camp on the national level. But she was like always, because she had such a good voice, she was always the lead singer and all of that. And so I used to pray as a child. I used to pray to God that God, and it felt like my voice never got good. But recently, like as an adult, I hope I'm not delusional. But anyway, my point is that recently as an adult, I was singing one day, and God reminded me that, can you see that I eventually answered your prayer? Of course, this is like, maybe 19 years after. But no, that's not my point. My point is not the length of time, Maybe God knew that I didn't need it at that time. I didn't need the singing or whatever, I mean, I've sang in church in recent time. I've finished and people are like, oh, you have such a nice voice. You sing so well and all of that. And the Holy Spirit and God reminded me, by virtue of this gym experience and how I transformed that, look, eventually I answered you. So whatever it is that you're asking me for now, if it doesn't seem like it's coming or anything, it's not the time. It's not the right time. Eventually, God is going to answer us. And God is going to give you that thing that you've asked for. So it's just like us parents. I remember this analogy, God gave it to me a while back. And it's probably in one of my videos, my old videos from 2 years ago. I remember God giving me that analogy. Like as a parent, sometimes your kid is asking you for something, right? And maybe that it's not that right time to give it to them, I mean, you might bulge and give it to them, but there's also that probability that because it's not the right time, it can also hurt them. And fine, as a parent, you'll be there for them. And, oh, sorry, my baby, you see why I didn't want to give you. Okay, it's okay. And dust them up and help them, So sometimes, this was Rema for me, when God revealed it to me. Sometimes God is withholding that thing from you at that time. Maybe because it's not the right time. Maybe because it's going to hurt you, And if you pest him and you bug him so much and all of that, he might decide to release it to you at that time. He might, he might not. He's God. That's why he's sovereign. He will do what he wants. But he might decide to give it to you at that time. And what happens? It hurts you. Just like that little child. It hurts you. And of course, he'll pick you up. He'll dust you up. But that's why he didn't give you at that time. So trust God. Trust God. Trust the process. I don't even know why I'm going into this, my preaching element. Because I feel like, okay, so we've gotten to work. I'm at work. I'm just taking you guys along my ride from when we drive into the hospital to when I get to the department I'm working in, not my primary department. But yeah, I don't know how I got into my preaching element. So I think you guys haven't really seen a lot of that on my YouTube channel. That's my God, my God side, I've only recently started uploading again. I've had this long break, but of course the plan for the channel is that lifestyle, my everyday life, medical stuff, health stuff, and also God, I'm very big on God. I've prayed to God, for the gift of healing. And probably this is one of the conversations we're still going to have as well in another video, because I remember just some journey here and there that God has taken me through, and I remember I continuously prayed and asked God for healing. Two things I prayed and asked God for: the gift of healing and to be a kingdom financier. Those two things, and I know that God has done it already. I know that God has perfected it and done it already, I remember one day I stumbled across a Catherine Coleman video. I don't know how, I can't say I really knew how anything, but the name dropped in my spirit, and I just went and I searched for her, and I was watching one of her videos, and towards the end, it felt like an electric shock went through my left hand, and it just felt in my spirit like I had gotten, that healing anointing that I've been asking God for, Now, have I really, should I say, practicalized it? No. I feel like that side of me is also an area that God is still working on and is about to unpack real well. But God needs to take you through some phases in life, teach you some things, and just grow you before he starts to use you. And I believe that we will all be here for that era as well, and that phase in my life. So back to work mode, guys. I don't know how I landed up praying God. But yeah, I guess this is how this voiceover was meant to turn out, because it wasn't in my plan at all. So this is the accident and emergency center, and this is where I'm working today. And sorry, I can't bring you guys in further than this, but because it was a Tuesday morning, we had a seminar presentation, and it's just on Tuesday mornings anyway. And so this is me collecting one of my parcel that I ordered from Konga. I think I ordered a swimming cap because I signed up for swimming lessons. I'm going to bring you guys along as well to my swimming lessons, and then it got delivered. And yeah, that's it for the day, guys. I'm done for the day, and I'm going to have lunch before I head back home. I'm sorry I couldn't bring you guys into the accident and emergency. I just showed you the entrance. But yeah, I had a full shift, had lunch, went home, and slept. I didn't go to the gym in the afternoon on this day. Like I have some days that I would go to the gym in the morning and I will also go in the afternoon. But on this particular day, and that's why I didn't bring you guys along again to the gym with me. On this particular day, I just went to grab some takeaway. I think I'd even gotten there a bit late and most of the food was like finished. But yeah, that's it, guys.